Jackson, and I have been with Miami County Helping Hands since its inception in March of 2002. We are a nonprofit organization, and all of us are volunteers, and we are not paid monetarily, but we are paid, with hugs and kisses sometimes. When we first started in '02, we were in a real small building, and we had maybe, if we'd have 17 clients in one day, that was a lot. Well, now we average about 45 to 50 a day, which means 150 clients for a week. There was one lady that she was having a difficult pregnancy, and she needed some medication in order to keep, the baby to be full term. And she needed medicine that was about $300. Okay, we coordinated with Birthright. They paid half and we paid half. And the baby was okay. And after the baby was born, she brought the baby in for us to see. So that was very rewarding.
Miami County is one of the poorer counties in the state, but they have very generous people. And we have never had to turn anyone away because we had no food. We have a second floor here, and the only way to get food up to stored on the second floor was carry it up the stairs. And all the food that we get, mostly from the food bank, is in banana boxes. And a banana box full of canned goods weighs 90 pounds or so. It's very heavy. I was searching on Craigslist. Wasn't finding anything that we could afford. It looked like it was going to cost us $10,000 or $12,000 to buy a forklift. And there was an ad in the newspaper that Buck's Bait Shop was going out of business, and they were having an auction, and one of the things they listed at the auction was a forklift. So I decided I had to be over there and bid on that forklift. So I got there early and got a cup of coffee, and I sat down and said a short prayer that if that forklift was a piece of junk, then I wouldn't waste Helping Hands money on it. But if it was a viable piece of equipment, then I could get it for a really good price. And I stood up and walked about 10 steps, and a man that I knew that'd been a regular contributor to Helping Hands said, "Don't bid on that forklift." I said, "Oh no, what's the matter with it?" "Well, nothing, I hope." He said, "I'm going to buy it and give it to you."
Libraries in the past were just a warehouse of books and materials. It didn't really include such things as programming, computers, and especially more activities for the children. We get a lot of joy at just seeing, for instance, our customers coming back every day, getting involved in their life. It's been really fun to see how much our community has improved in the last few years. Our downtown is becoming beautiful, and part of that is the hard work of these people that coming to us to get resources to start a small business. Where do I go? They would come in and ask us these questions. They may use our computers that the Northern Indiana Community Foundation has helped us purchase to get on there to find out about contracts and how to start a business, and even maybe the phone number to the Small Business Association. It could be something as simple as that. We just really appreciate Northern Indiana Community Foundation support. We've always felt that they were an organization we could go to if we needed help, and we truly, from the bottom of our hearts, appreciate that help.
We do a wide variety of things. We have a Lego League where the kids can come build with Legos. We do American Girl Club where we talk about American Girl books, and we do activities and crafts based on that. We have the Tween Scene, which is for 10 to 14-year-olds. We do different activities every month just to kind of keep them interested in the library, because you kind of start to lose them when they hit the teens. So we're trying to keep them drawn in. And then We're getting ready to start our robots program. We're excited about that. We have movers and shakers where the preschool age kids can come and sing and dance and do songs. And then we try to have other programs every month. Like we just had an unbirthday party where we celebrated everybody's birthday, like in Alice in Wonderland, the unbirthday party. So we really just try to draw people in. And my favorite thing about this job is getting to work with the kids and to see the kids and to just really foster a love of the library that I hope they carry through to adulthood and that they will be lifelong patrons.
My name is Cheryl Lee and I'm with Harvesting Capabilities here in Peru. We're a non-profit organization and we are here to serve people with disabilities and also senior citizens. Well, recently we've been helping people, like when we have like the chili cook-off or our bake sale or whatever we have, sometimes we just give out certificates for people to come in that are in need, you know, and like a certain % off. And they come in, especially the young women that come in that have children and they don't have anything, you know, they need help. So they can come in and pick out outfits for them and their children. And that makes me feel really good because some of these women, you know, are just single mothers without jobs even. So it just warms my heart that we can help them. Well, we've installed ramps for quite a while, for a number of years, and they used to be wooden ramps, but the wooden ramps eventually, you know, just fall apart, you know, through the weather, the cold winters we have. So now we don't do the wooden ramps, but we do the aluminum ramps, and that's why we are really struggling to, you know, get grants and things, because having a ramp for a person at their home, that means they have access to the outside world. You know, if they can't get out of their home, they can't get out and about in the community, and plus same thing going back home. So that's what we're proud of also.
My husband was David Beal. He taught his whole career, 39 years, at Mechanical High School. And I used to say he bled red and blue. He loved that school. And he loved teaching. When he began to think about retirement, I said, what do you think you will do? And this was starting year 39. He said, I don't know of a place I would rather go every morning than my classroom. His job was to help kids learn, so he is still helping kids to learn. That was the purpose. And I wanted his death to stand for something. And so before we even lost the emergency room, my oldest son and I told him we're starting a scholarship for Dad. I don't know how to do it, but we're doing it. When our younger son died a year ago in January at 43 of a massive coronary, of course memorials were made to David Beal Scholarship. And I was amazed at the amount of money that came in. And our son would have been so thrilled to know that from his death, more of Dad's students would be able to continue to learn. They may not be his students now, but they will always be his students.
When my father passed away, he was well known in the community through his work, through the Softball Association, and I just told my mom, there's no way that we want that many flowers and blankets, and you know, that stuff is all nice, but we want something that's gonna, Dad was well known and liked, and we wanted something that would continue on in his memory. So we asked if we could set up some type of scholarship, a fund or something, and then decided no, we didn't really want it to be a scholarship, something to improve what the students and kids in the county were already doing. And then after that involvement, my youngest son was fortunate enough that he was a Lilly Scholar, so we became involved with, you know, the scholarship side of it, more so that way too than what I did through the schools. And then my husband and I decided to set up a community fund that would go to investments, because that's kind of how the Community Foundation pulled me in as I started working on the grants and helping give back some of that money to community. And we realized that we wanted to start up something like that. It could, not a special interest, it didn't have to go anywhere particular, it didn't have to be our decision. That way it could be used to just better the community.
Hi, I'm Debbie Wallach with United Way. I'm the Executive Director, and I've been here since 2001, and I started the directorship in 2005, 2006. And so we have grown tremendously over the years, And I would say probably back in 2009 is probably when we started taking on more roles in the community. So we started taking on initiatives, and those initiatives started taking a hold probably because of all the grants that we started being awarded through the Community Foundation, thanks to the impact grants and the small traditional grants, and then also through the Beamer Sisterhood grants. And even myself, when you go into, I hadn't done a job interview for 16 years, and you go in there and you listen to that, and they give you those communication skills on what is it when you go into an interview, what is your best trait, and they teach you the words to say, and what is it that you're best at, and your best qualities when you go in for an interview, and so we do have some good testimonies to coming out of those classes.
Hi, my name is Cammie Walters, and I'm preschool teacher and director at Main Street Preschool. And we've been using the Community Foundation scholarships since they started, 4 or 5 years. The Community Foundation definitely sets the kids on a track to be successful in kindergarten. All kids develop at a different age, but this definitely, getting them in this setting helps them to see what kindergarten is going to be like, the information that they're going to need to know. It also educates the parents, because some of the parents that are using the Community Foundation might not be aware of the demands of kindergarten, because it is a lot different than what it used to be. So this helps educate the parents as well. We have a little boy that his mom had cancer, and she thought that she'd be able to pay, a little bit towards his tuition. Unfortunately, she had to drive down to Indianapolis every day for her chemotherapy, and it just got to be too much to where she couldn't work, and she didn't have a car, so he was going to have to pull out of the program, but I talked to the Community Foundation, to Corinne, and we were able to cover his full scholarship, and she's in remission right now, and he's doing great. He comes every day on the Y bus, and it's just really, it's a great story.
Miami's Fort was an idea that when it was first presented, you thought, how are you going to build this big playground with all the stuff you want to do in 3 days? And it was a very unique process and very fun to watch. But Miami County Foundation was very much involved in helping with that, and still are today. Because with any playground, especially when it's made of wood, you're going to have damage, or you're going to have some vandalism. And so you have to have funds to make sure that the kids who want to enjoy it can enjoy it respectfully. And what the Community Foundation has done there, and is still doing today, is very much a big part of that being such a success down there. But going back to the beginning, when they were bringing semis in and all this wood was piled up and all the people coming together, I think that was something that people will probably forget, because the fort is still there and you see it. But the people who built it are gone and done other things. But that is what you really need to look at, that is, how did that come together? Hundreds of people were down there. Again, Bruce was the one that was spearheading it and guiding it, but there were a lot of people there that was throwing in a couple hours here, or carpenters taking a day off work and coming down and doing their thing, It was very interesting to watch it all come together. Yeah, so from that standpoint, it was brought the community together, and the community had a good feeling about where they lived. So there was a boost in energy toward the community, as well as bringing a playground for our kids to enjoy. And then, I think Community Foundation, a lot of other projects. I mean, you can't name very many projects in Peru that Community Foundation doesn't have their fingers in. To touch on every person, every aspect the Community Foundation has been a part of would be very difficult. I don't know how much videotape you would have to put on there, but say that it has changed many, many people's lives for the better in our community.